now. It's always that bit when you get the notification that we are live streaming. So if you can turn your cameras on, it would be so lovely to see your faces. But it's not essential. It'd be lovely. Oh, right. Right, let me just mute. There we go. I've muted my YouTube. Sorry about that. Okay, let me just head back. So welcome. Yeah, if you're just joining, I'd love you to share. Where are you in the world? So what have we got here so far? Simona in London, bad weather. Yeah, it's bad weather in London. Denver, lots of snow and sunshine. That's lovely. We like anything with sunshine is good. Ottawa, Canada, sunny and warm, almost like spring. Nice. New Zealand, warm already, 8 a.m. Good morning in New Zealand. Bright and sunny in Utah. Hello, Karen. Hello, Patricia in Seattle. It's raining. Valerie's in Chicago. Herne Bay, UK, cold and wet. LA, cloudy in LA. Ontario, cloudy. Hello in Berkshire. Wirral, England, breezy. Oninga says you're exactly 10k subscribers on YouTube. Yes, I literally just put that on my Instagram story. I noticed that earlier today. So it's a mini celebration here, and I think lots of you have found me on YouTube. So we're going to be talking about lots about tapping today. So firstly, who was on the call yesterday? And I'd love to know, those of you who were on the call, if you'd love to share in the comments, what's come up for you since yesterday's call? I've had so many messages on social media and emails to say that they really resonated with the birth stuff, the maternal stuff, the lots of things that I talked about on the call yesterday. People really resonated. And I'd love to know if you've kind of had any ahas or insights, particularly because yesterday we focused on the past. So if anything did come up for you, I'd love to know. So please, yeah, come and share in the comments. I'd love to hear, what came up for you. So yesterday we focused on the past, and today we're going to be focusing on the present. This is all about kind of finding miracles. Now, when we talk about miracles, I believe miracles are everywhere, and sometimes miracles come in disguise, and sometimes they're disguised in, it's kind of like, really, you're my miracle? And sometimes it's only when we look back in time and think, oh gosh, that really was a miracle that happened. So, but today it's focusing on the present moment. And actually, let me just change the screen. It is lovely to see your faces, but I'm just going to put myself on spotlight for a bit. But if you'd like to put your cameras on, it would be lovely to see your faces. Let me just see if I can, there we go. I've just changed the view here quickly. So today we're going to be talking about the present moment. And because the present moment, when we get really centered, when we get really focused, this is what we're going to be talking a lot about today. We can bring ourselves to a place of peace. We can bring ourselves to a place of calm, because very often what's going on in the present moment, we're not actually being very present, because we are thinking about either what's happened in the past and our thoughts go there, or we're kind of thinking about the future, and perhaps, particularly when we're not feeling great. This is kind of the miracle of tapping, where we can literally use tapping to shift our state, to shift the stories we're telling in our head very quickly. So so Liz has said it, using tapping to clear stuff helps to gain clarity on what's next. Exactly that. So let me just read some of the comments from yesterday. So Karen said a lot came up: reconnecting with my past, love of prayer, looking into past experiences and what they can teach me about my sleep as it pertains to my future health. Yes, absolutely. Lenora said, I was on the call yesterday. Part of my birth story came up. I was born too early. So in my life, I feel that things come at me too early, or I'm not ready. It was only a week or so. Yes, notice how a story like that can really kind of almost be the theme tune of our life, that I'm not quite ready yet, I'm not prepared. Just be aware of thoughts like that come up for you during the rest of today and tomorrow and over the next few days, as everything we discussed starts to marinate. Let's have a look here. Oh, Judith says, I dreamed of relatives and I had issues. Okay, interesting. Let's have you. Oh, Inga says here, what I've noticed is that I feel more confident and much more positive about future plans. Wonderful, fantastic. And Jackie says, I remember being your 1,000th subscriber. So funny how that happens. I think that wasn't that long ago. It took me I think about 6 or 7 years to get to my first 1,000 subscribers, but then only probably 18 months or 2 years to get to 10. It's interesting how the growth happens once you commit to, I committed to grow my YouTube channel, and this is, actually definitely my focus now. So let's have a look here again. Wendy says here, a lot came up which surprised me as I've done a lot of work in my past using EFT. The biggest thing was using the mind-body connection. I have a lot of eye issues, which shows I'm afraid of looking forward. Yes, eye problems, foot problems are to do with the future and looking forwards as well. So very, very interesting how the mind-body connection, actually, I find there is so many things that connect amazingly well with tapping, past life stuff, all sorts of stuff. It can be really, really linked in with tapping. So welcome everyone. It's so lovely to see lots of you back again, and to see some new faces as well. So welcome. So today yesterday we talked about the past, tomorrow we'll be talking about the future, and today we're going to be talking about the present, because let's face it, life can throw all sorts of things at us. Those in my members community, those who kind of know me, know that I kind of had a bit of a major curveball thrown in my life last year. When looking back on it now, time and distance, we can really put a space between ourselves and events that happened. But at the time, it was really quite big and quite a difficult period of my life, when I ended up having my parents move in with me for 6 months. And now it seems they actually moved out in February to brand new, self-contained apartment. Because when you get to my stage in life, I'm at the stage of my life where I have 2 teenagers to deal with, but I also have elderly parents to deal with as well. Just as the children become more self-sufficient and not so needy, suddenly you've got your parents to contend with. So that was really something that I hadn't put on my vision board last year, having my parents move in with me and having to sell their house and have them move out. That for me is 6 months of, because I didn't really have the space for them. They ended up sleeping in my we turned our conservatory into a bedroom for them. And I had a huge quantity of their possessions in our house as well, because they needed a lot of their stuff. Plus selling my old family home, getting rid of 40 years worth of stuff and downsizing them to a 1-bedroom apartment was horrendous, to be quite honest. And I had to do an awful lot of tapping to kind of get me through that time, and to really, get me kind of focused on what I wanted on a day-to-day basis. And in the grand scheme of things that can happen to you in your life, it really wasn't that bad. And I'm actually so grateful that I was in a position to be able to help my parents that way. Marilyn said, what's a conservatory? Here, conservatory, I don't know, any Americans who can translate that? Kind of like a garden room.
It's like an
orangery, bit less posh than an orangery, but yeah. So like a glass attachment to my home, bit of an extension. So we normally had it, we've now turned it back into a little mini gym, but we just had it as I had it as like a little sitting room, little kind of, anyway, and it was a mini spare room at one point, but anyway, there we go, that's a conservatory, like a sunroom, there we go. And so in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't a terrible thing that I had to deal with, but it was very disruptive in my life, and it wasn't something that I had prepared for. It was what I would call one of the curveballs that life throws at us, and we all get them thrown at us, whether it's things that happen to family members, stuff that we have to deal with our kids, our life events that happen, things that just come out the blue really, really unexpectedly, relationship breakups, financial worry, job loss, job redundancy, all sorts of things like this can create emotional turmoil for us. And I find that tapping really, really helps as well. So these are kind of events that can come along to throw us off course. You know, they can be quite sudden and unexpected. But then there are things that can kind of happen to us gradually over a period of time, things that slowly kind of chip away at us. You know, it could be general dissatisfaction, feeling unhappy in a job, feeling unhappy in a relationship, poor health, things that just chip away at us over time. So I'd love to hear anyone here in the room at the moment, if there is anything going on for you like that right now. I'd love to, you know, if you want to share in the comments, that'd be great, because we could do some tapping in a minute just to kind of get ourselves to a place of peace, place of calm, and to just get our thinking more clear again. You know, that's one of the miracles of tapping, that we can interrupt our thought patterns, we can change our words. I'm going to talk more about that a bit later, and the language that we use. And we can use tapping to then, once we've interrupted that pattern, to take our thoughts in somewhere more empowering, somewhere more positive. We can take action from that place of empowerment. So we've got here, so Kirsten said, I've got so much to do, so little time. Now, something I love to do for my members community, something called tapping prescriptions. So they present me with a problem and I will give them some tapping prescriptions. So first one I'll say here, Kirsten, I do have a tapping video on my YouTube channel, is tapping for more time. Now, we may not think that that is possible, but it truly is. Right, so we're going to do the first piece here on the power of language. Now, there's a phrase, and it's actually a book title called Your Word is Your Wand. And I always get confused between the two. I think it's Florence Scovel Shinn, could be Catherine Ponder, one or the other. Your word is your wand. Now, our words are so important. Now, our words, there are three ways in which we can manifest our life through the words. And the first is our thoughts, is the thoughts that we're thinking. So thinking a thought like, I don't have any time, I haven't got any time, running out of time. How many, you know, mums of you need to get kids ready in the morning? How many times do you hear people saying, we're going to be late, we're going to be late? I am kind of really known as being the language police. I really police people's language. So if I hear people say things that are not empowering them, I would tell them immediately. And now I never say those words anymore. We're going to be late. I'll say, right, kids, get a move on. We need to hurry up if we're going to get there on time. Something like that, which is very different from we're going to be late. You're affirming what you don't want, which is you're going to be late. So this is, you know, one of the things that I would love to talk about on this call today, is the power of being really focused on the language that you use. Now, the thoughts that we think, that can be a little bit more difficult, because they can end up spiraling out of control. But with consistency, with a commitment to really monitoring your thoughts, you can absolutely change your life. You know, if you really change your thoughts, you will absolutely change your life. So that's first level language, is the thoughts that we think. The second level language is the words that we speak. And again, there is a bit more of a time kind of, because we have to think the thought first before we speak. But and I think it was somebody on the call yesterday who said, I don't think before I speak, and that's caused a lot of problems for me. Now, I will say this over and over again. I say it to my kids, I'll say it to my clients, that do not say anything unless you want it to be true. And again, this takes persistence. It also takes practice, that's what I meant. It takes practice and consistency to really think about the words that you think. That's why in a round of tapping, and I'll talk about that in a minute, you know, people say to me, well, why do you use the negative language at the beginning of a round of tapping? Now, we do this because that's the release bit. First, we've got to address the thought that we're thinking, the emotion that we're feeling, and let that go. You'll probably notice in a lot of my rounds of tapping, the first part is addressing the problem or focusing on the negative emotion, because, you know, we've got to recognize it so we can tap, release, and then let it go. Then, the second part is then letting go. And then the third part is tapping in what we want instead, the positive language, the positive emotions, and to be really, decisive on what it is that we want. So that's why there's 3 types of language. And then the third one, which is a much more fun one, is the words that we write. Now, journaling, the power of journaling is incredible. And when we kind of write out what we want, this is a really, really good way, really powerful way of manifesting when we write out the words that we want. So they're the 3 layers of language: thoughts we think, the words that we speak, and the words we actually write down and put on paper. So we can literally kind of journal our way to kind of what we want. But that's the easy bit, I think, journaling. But the much harder bit is controlling our thoughts, because our emotions and thoughts are very closely linked. When you notice that you're not feeling great, and I talked about this recently at my November masterclasses, we talked about energy and vibration. Energy, vibration, and emotions, they're kind of pretty much the same thing. But the bit that you're going to recognize is your emotion, the way that you're feeling. And your emotions are a direct result of the thoughts that you are thinking. So if you're feeling happy, you know, wonderful, we don't want to change that. But if you're feeling anything lower rather than calm and content, if you're feeling a bit bored, fed up, pessimistic, feeling angry, overwhelmed, worried, fearful, stressed, embarrassed, ashamed, full of revenge, you know, any of those feelings is a result of the thoughts that you're thinking. And I also, as you know, a lot of you know, I love to help people manifest things in their lives, whether that's relationships, financial abundance, success in your business, relationships, whatever. It's a direct result of the thoughts that we're thinking. And for me, this is a ongoing process. And I must admit, for me, it does come quite naturally now, but 20, 30 years ago, my natural state was worry. I used to worry about anything and everything. And I've really found that I just don't really go there anymore. You know, I've got a teenage son who recently passed his driving test. So yes, of course, as a mum, you know, I did find myself worrying when he was just first out there. But what I do now is, and this is my kind of top tip when you're not feeling good, is because you're thinking about what it is you don't want. You're thinking you've got something that's happening in your life that's making you feel stressed, fearful, worried. So and I know it could be easier said than done, is to focus on what it is you want. So when my son's out and about, I will focus on, you know, he is safe. He's going to come walking through the door at the end of the evening, and I'm not going to feed the thoughts of worry. I'm just going to, and if I do feel the worry, I'll tap on the worry, and I will just, you know, if I'm feeling worried right now, I choose to let it go. Even though I'm feeling really worried right now, I choose to release this now. I'm letting go of all this worry in my body, clearing away the worry, clearing away the fear, clearing away the stress. And I choose to know that he's safe, he's fine, all is well. And I choose to trust that he's a good driver, he's sensible, he's fine. And of course, I talk to him as well. And, you know, there are other things that we can do to, you know, make sure that, you know, as far as possible, that, you know, I give him little tips like, you know, Ben, when you get in the car, just, you know, tell yourself you're surrounded by angels. And I said, you don't have to tell anyone, but, you know, I tell him to do that. And who knows whether he does. It might go in one ear and out the other. But yeah, that's just, you know, what I do to kind of keep worrying thoughts at bay. When we can't sleep at night, it's often because we've got something in our mind, and it's like, okay, what can I do to get myself back into the present moment, to release whatever worry I'm thinking about the past, whatever worry I'm thinking about the future, and just focus on what I want, which is a good night's sleep. And I think that's probably why that's one of my most popular tapping videos on my YouTube channel, tapping for a good night's sleep. The number of people have said, wow, that's helped. Even, you know, sometimes if I see a Facebook friend who's posted, oh my God, I can't sleep, I'll just send them a link to my video. And I've had people, you know, who aren't really into tapping say, oh my God, I tried that and I had the best night's sleep ever. It really does work when we interrupt the pattern of the thoughts that we're thinking so that we can just feel better and feel calmer. So let me just look at some comments here. I see there's some comments here. Right, let's have a look. Okay. So I'm just laughing at Pavan's comment. I do know Pavan. Pavan's one of in my community. So yes, I love that. There is so much freedom when we do not give a flying F what people think of us anymore. It is so liberating and it's so powerful. There are so many of us who go through life not doing the things that we really, really want to do because we worry about what other people think. So, Pavan, I am delighted that you have got to this stage in your life, because there will be people, and there will always be people in our lives who want us to be a certain way because it makes them feel good. It makes them feel safe. It makes them feel comfortable. But, and again, I'm going to refer now, and this was a blog post that impacted me hugely many, many years ago. It was Bronnie Ware's 5 Regrets of the Dying. Bronnie Ware was a palliative care nurse who, I think it was Australia or New Zealand, and she worked with people at the end of their life. And she asked them, you know, kind of, you know, what's your biggest regret? And then she ended up writing this blog post that went viral, 5 Regrets of the Dying. And one of the top regrets was living a life that others expected of me, not the life that I wanted to live myself. And think, gosh, how tragic that is, that you can get to the end of your life just pleasing other people and not pleasing yourself. And yes, I know there's a bit of a balance involved, but I love what Pavan's written here. She's got to the point where I don't give a flying fiddle what anyone thinks anymore. So yeah, let me just have a look at some of the other I've seen. Oh, so just saw Diane said it, my sister passed away 2 weeks ago, funerals tomorrow, 84-year-old mum, now alone, need extra care. So here's the thing, so firstly, my condolences, I'm so sorry to hear that. When we do find ourselves with big problems, just as I did last year with, you know, gosh, what am I going to do with my parents? So the reason my parents moved in with me is because my dad fell down the stairs at home. Now, my dad has dementia as well, which has huge challenges of its own. My mum, she is quite, her mobility has been just reduced quite a lot in the last couple of years. So physically, my dad's very, very fit, and physically my mum isn't, but mentally my dad isn't, and mentally my mum is. So kind of between them, they do balance each other out. Now, for a good few years, I was really worried about them living in our family home, because it just wasn't suitable for me anymore. There were things going wrong. It was getting old. It was too big for them. And it was full of stuff. Oh my gosh, they had so much stuff in their house. Thinking about clearing out their house used to keep me awake at night. But then they also only had an upstairs bathroom, and I was really, and plus they were extremely stubborn. so stubborn, and almost it was very difficult for me to kind of have conversation with them because my mum was very set in her ways. But when my dad fell down the stairs, my mum suddenly realized, actually, we can't manage it here anymore. And she did. But I had been kind of in the background focusing on what can I do to make the next chapter of my parents' lives more comfortable. And this was one of my big manifestations a couple of years ago. I was constantly putting out there, I was journaling it, and it was really kind of up there on my top 5 things I wanted to manifest. Care for my parents, comfort, but without me being their carer. That I didn't want that either. But it was kind of, then it opened a whole new world to me that I didn't know existed, of elderly living and these places that I honestly didn't know existed. So if there is a major problem in your life that you don't know the solution to, I had a major problem with my children earlier this year, because they were both traveling, they were going to Borneo with the school for a month, and I was faced with all sorts of kind of difficulties when it came to their travel arrangements, particularly with the pandemic and that kind of thing. And I just thought, I just really want their trip to go smoothly. At one point it looked like it might be cancelled, and whatever the problem is, I promise you there is a solution, because these problems rob us of our peace in the moment. And you know, I've had all sorts of problems, you know, big problems in my marriage many years ago to deal with, where at the time it's just like, oh my God, I cannot see an answer here. But I had a vision for how I imagine life to look in the future. Even facing life as a single parent, I was like, well, how am I going to make ends meet? How am I going to provide for these 2 children, you know, and run a business? Because there was a big point in my life where I kind of like thought, right, I'm not making enough here to do all the things I need to do. And I was on the verge of going back to my old corporate job. And this is kind of the key thing I really, really want you to take away from this call, to focus on what you want, focus on what your heart and soul truly desire. Now, you can't actually see what I'm wearing right now. From here, it looks like a bit of a boring beige jumper, but here's what I truly believe: anything is possible. Okay. And I'm going to caveat that with anything is possible if your heart and soul want it enough. You've got to really, really want it. If there's something that you really, really want, the universe will find a way to make it happen for you. So that's what I kind of want you to, you know, take away from this call. When you're not feeling good, when you're not feeling that life's going your way, when you're feeling that the world is against you, when you're feeling that you're plagued by bad luck or problem after problem, I want you to sit down, take some time out, and to think about what it is you really, really want. And you're going to have to take some time out for yourself to do exactly that, because life is so busy for all of us. You know, somebody said here earlier, time, you know, do we have time to do these things? It's essential that we make time to focus on what you really want. And I have it as a permanent reminder on my desk. I'm going to show you just to prove it to you. I'm not making this up. I have to remind you this constantly. Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. It's got a bit tatty now, this note. But I have it here as a permanent reminder, because I forget sometimes. Because if I'm feeling stressed or worried, or I'm running late or something like that, I'm focused on the problem. But when you focus on what you want, what you really, really want, the universe will find a way to get the answer, the solution to you. So who was it here? So Diane said, you know, with sister, now mum is alone and needing extra care. If you're in that situation, Diane, I would say to yourself, you know, what can I do? Or what is available for me to make sure that my mum is going to get the care that she needs, that it's going to create balance and ease in my life? You know, how can I find a solution that's going to be amazing for my mum, but also amazing for me as well? So that's what I just like to put out there to you. Diane. So Patricia said here, living through the loss. Oh, Patricia, I'm so sorry to hear that. Lost my daughter last September. Oh, Patricia, I didn't realize that. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah. And grief, I think, is one of the probably the hardest thing to deal with. And I can't even imagine when it's your child. It's the hardest, most painful thing. So absolutely sending you so much love, Patricia. And I'm so pleased that, you know, even through those darkest of times, that tapping has helped you to feel calm, be peaceful and positive. And I think this is when our spiritual beliefs can come to the forefront. I know a very dear friend of mine who lost her, you know, her very young child a few years back, and she amazes me how she has you know, can get on with her life, you know, and we do, and I guess one way to find comfort is that our loved ones are at peace, and yeah, and know that they, and I say it sounds a bit of a cliche, they wouldn't want us to be suffering. And it's how, you know, what can I do to honor their memory? What can I do to, as you say, keep yourself positive and peaceful? So Diane, Patricia, just everyone said here, sending you so much love. Yeah, so let's have a look here. And yeah, just seeing some of everyone, we all go through so much tragedy and heartache in our life, and sometimes it does feel like, gosh, it's so bloody unfair, you know, why am I having to deal with this? And, you know, just as I said yesterday, sometimes things can happen in our lives that can almost fuel us to do things for someone's memory, for their honor. And, you know, there was a lady a few years ago, I can't remember her name or the exact details, but she lost her daughter to asthma. And I think it turned out it was because the air quality where they lived was so bad that it brought on an awful asthma attack. But then her mum became a campaigner to clean up the air for, you know, this particular, I think it was part of London where the air quality was so poor that she channeled her grief into activism, and then, you know, made an amazing contribution to, you know, countless other people's lives. So yeah, and she said, you know, I didn't want my daughter's death to be in vain. So it's when people, and I admire these people so much who can do this, but and this is how we get through difficult times. So let's have a look here. So Jackie, mum and dad living next door, only child, dad can't drive at present. So Jackie, I'd really, yeah, firstly, do the tapping video, tapping to feel overwhelmed. When you're feeling overwhelmed, nothing is going to get done, because when we're feeling overwhelmed, you're Jackie, just like me, single mom, elderly parents, teenage children, and I do have a couple of brothers. One lives in France, which is not very helpful, but it's like I would really put some thoughts out there to the universe, you know, what can I do to make their lives easier, my lives easier? And it's like, put it out there to the universe and meditate upon it. How can I, you know, what help is available for me to just really shake this situation up, and to, you know, maybe that could be your focus for the new year, for the vision board. You know, this is your focus. Ing says, is it more powerful to write your desires, speak your desires? I do both. I meditate on them, I visualize them, I speak them. Writing out is very good. I do it all. So, you know, whatever feels good for you. Let's have a look here. So Pam said, I'm trying to find myself a lovely spa night away. Will be tapping to the good night's sleep that night. Yes. Self-care, self-love, I can't stress the importance of that. So I'm going to bring that into the mix on this, you know, being the present moment. And funny enough, I was talking to my daughter about this yesterday, and she's, you know, she's only 15, and you know, I don't want to talk about, she hates when I talk about things privately. In fact, I think she's tuning in right now, so I might have to rein back what I was going to say. But she's a great kind of, you know, I've really kind of thrown in this kind of self-love thing for her since an early age, because I've been tapping with my children since they were tiny. And one of the core phrases of tapping is, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. You know, even though XYZ is going on in my life, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Because the relationship we have with ourselves is the most important relationship you are ever going to have in your life. From the day you're born to the day you'll die, you are the person that you wake up with, and you are the person that you go to bed with. It's your reflection that you see in the mirror every single day. Anywhere you go, you are going to be there. So you've got to love the company that you were with. And I felt kind of really proud of my daughter. Just a few days ago, she said, we were watching The Holiday. Who watched The Holiday over Christmas? Yeah. Got to watch The Holiday at Christmas. And the bit where Kate Winslet and Cameron both decided, you know, that's it, I'm going off on my own on holiday. We both said, oh, do you know what? I actually quite like the idea of holiday on my own. My daughter said, yeah, me too. And I think when you can get to that stage where you love your own company, that is an amazing space to be in, because there are some people who don't like their own company. But I promise you, loving yourself, loving your own company, loving the skin you're in is one of the healthiest things that you can do for yourself, that is going to makes life amazing. When you think, you know, okay, it's a Saturday night, you know, everyone's busy, but who cares? I've got me, a night in with me. How amazing is that? And so again, another tapping prescription for anyone who kind of wants to feel a bit more of that self-love is the tapping for self-love video. Again, that's on my YouTube channel as well. And I found, you know, so again, that's been a really popular one. So many people have shared just how powerful that video has been in order to help them with their self-love journey. Jackie says she can't hear me. I'm hoping everyone else can, so you might just need to turn off and back on again. Let's have a look here. So India said, yeah, I joined one of your calls early December and tapped along manifesting the purchase of a house. I'm usually quite positive, try to manifest with my mindset. We did make the highest offer, but weren't successful bidder in the end. I never gave up manifesting. And last week we got our Christmas miracle. Amazing. The other buyer pulled out who offered to buy it. Our offer was accepted. I'm hoping to manifest us getting the house even more now. Oh, amazing. So, right, so before I continue with the rest of the call, I do just want to share, and I know lots of you signed up for it already, that in January, I am doing my biannual, because I do this twice a year, Vision Board Experience. Now, this year it's been rebranded the TNT Vision Experience. Now, TNT, I didn't actually share this yesterday, stands for Transformational Neural Technique, which is my combination, is my unique style of tapping where I blend it with visualization to help you. Because TNT, when I came up with this name, before I got it trademarked, I realized somebody actually said to me, Mel, that's like dynamite. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Because what the TNT process does, it helps you to clear out the past first. Because just as I shared yesterday, it's a lot of the stuff in the past, the stories, the events, the trauma that prevent us from manifesting what we want in the future. So we clear the past in order to clear the path. And that's what the TNT experience is all about this year. And this year, the reason it's even more supercharged is because I'm calling in the big guns to help me help you have the best experience when it comes to setting New Year goals, to make big life changes and huge transformations in your life, your business, your relationships, and any other aspect of your life that you want to make big changes on. So I know so many of you signed up yesterday, so I'm delighted to welcome you on board. Now, if you did sign up yesterday, please note that all the email, the information and everything will be coming out to you in the next 48 hours. So a few people said, oh, I've signed up, but what do I do next? All the next stages will be coming to you on email very soon. I'm actually going to be setting up a private Facebook group for the event this year. where the events will be streamed. So I'm just going to share with you very quickly what the event is all about. So let me just share my screen with you, because I have got some incredible additional offers for you. And I can't see where to share the screen. Oh my gosh. Oh, here we go, right there. Okay, that's not. Here we go. So can you give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen? Great, thank you. So I'll share the link in a moment, but when you go to the page here, I won't read through it all because you can read through this yourselves. This is what the 3-day experience is taking place the 20th to the 22nd of January. Now, one thing actually is not very clear on this page, which I will get amended, is the timings. So it's not all day, 3 days, every day. It's actually 3 days. So the first day is a vision planning session, which will be taking place on the Friday, the 20th of January. And this is going to be a morning call in the UK, but because it'll be streamed into the Facebook group, you'll be able to catch up. If you're in the US and you want to lie in a bit, you'll be able to catch up when you wake up. The event itself on the Saturday, the 21st, is starting about 10:30 a.m. UK time, be finishing about 2:30 p.m. UK time. So again, it's probably about 4 to 5 hours where we're going to be doing some exercises together, and you're going to be making the vision boards in a group. And then on the third day is a vision embodiment process, the TNT process, where you are going to be, I'm going to be taking you through the meditation to really get to live your vision now in the future now. And I've had some people do this with me probably since the beginning. Now, Lisa, my friend Lisa Nichols, isn't on the call today. Lisa's one of my team members, but Lisa has literally done the vision board with me since the very beginning, ever since they were tiny little events in my home. And, she continues to update her vision board every single year. So the vision board isn't doing it once and then you forget about it. I encourage you to update your vision twice a year, because our desires change, what we want changes. But it was just actually, I got reminded here, there's a couple of, there's some wonderful testimonials on here. We've got Karen, who's on the call. Karen, there she goes. Just you can read about Karen's $100,000 manifesting miracle, which I think happened about 18 months ago on the summer vision board workshop, and this kind of, a lot of her breakthroughs happened with the letting go process, like a lot of clearing and the forgiveness from the past. Because she realized that her stuff kind of laid in the past, that stuff she needs to work on first. But you can read through Karen's story here. Now, Gemma, my dear friend Gemma, I'm not sure if she's on the call or not. I know she tried to get on the call yesterday, but the Zoom call maxed out. Now, Gemma manifested her dream home. I think she moved in at the beginning. Oh my gosh, I've lost track now because time has traveled so quickly. She spent a year trying to get the house of her dreams, and all sorts of things kind of went wrong for her. It happened, and then it wasn't happening. Then they lost the house, and then they got it back again. And then she thought, do you know what? Give up. And it was very, anyone who's been through the process is very, very emotional when it comes to moving house. And I think she'd kind of given up in about November, December time. And then she said, wow, we found a different house. I love it even more than the other house. And she shares some of her story here. And I think she was moved in by February into a house that she couldn't have, it was even better than she could have imagined. So as Gemma's, and what I love also about Gemma, she's got the whole family on board. Now, if you sign up for the Vision Board Workshop, as long as you're kind of all in the same address, you can do it with your mum, your children, and even Gemma's husband. When I saw Gemma recently, her husband said, oh, when's Mel's next vision board workshop? Because he wanted to update his vision board. She's got the whole family on board. Even her daughter does it as well. And I think it's on the FAQs. People said, can more than one people do it? And I think, yes, as long as you're all working for the same device, you can invite the whole street to come and join you. So yeah, you can find out all about, what it's about here. Brittany made her vision board quite recently. She's a filmmaker and director in New York, and she shared how she's kind of had so many transformations recently. And I'm hopefully got my fingers crossed. I haven't actually asked her yet, but I'm going to hopefully do a live interview with her in January on Instagram. So Brittany, if you're watching, I hope you'll say yes to that. But I really want to share Brittany's story in a bit more detail. So yeah, it takes place from the comfort of your own home on Zoom, just like this. And it's incredible how people from all over the world just become friends. I afterwards, you know, if you then want to join my membership community afterwards, people join little pods, and we have some people have got some amazing friendships have been formed with their little accountability pods. And I have nothing to do with this, and sometimes I think, oh, I want to be in your pod. Because, you know, they seem to have, you know, such closeness and you know, camaraderie and fun together, that it's amazing how people just get so connected on these Zoom calls. Yeah, so we talk about the community aspect later. And here are some other testimonials just from people in the group as well. Now, I wanted to share a fast action bonus for anyone who joins. And apparently last night I said before midnight. I actually meant to say midnight on the 31st of December. But anyone who joins for midnight 31st of December, I am going to be doing a special New Year Vision Intention workshop next Tuesday. And this is going to be kind of, I think it's going to be an evening session UK time, 8 p.m. UK time, where we are going to be really kind of getting super clear on the year that you want it. We could do some mapping out, some planning, to setting some powerful intentions. We're doing tapping, guided meditation. So this is going to be this is a fast action bonus for anyone who joins before midnight December 31st. And also we've got loads of other bonuses. I'll be talking about this more later, but you can read this for yourself. So many more, and I added up the value of this, and I know you can buy these courses and it's kind of, you see all these kind of fake values. I think, oh my God, there's £100,000 worth of bonuses. This really are kind of amazing. These are products that I've sold in the past. The Tapping Into Your Big Vision workshop, this sold last summer for £197. You get that included for free. These you also get this is what I did in the summer tapping school. You get that included as well. That I sold that as 197. So these are all included. We've got a wonderful workshop with Sarah Turner. She's going to be teaching us how to make our own gemstone vision essence. This will be doing that after the vision board. A wonderful workshop with Marcia. Again, really valuable. And I'm really looking forward to this as well. Procrastination busting workshop with Dr. Christine Lee, who's also known online as procrastination coach. She was actually featured in Oprah's magazine just last month. So super proud of her success as well. Now, I'm just going to fast forward to the end here. Another fast action bonus. I've got a super early bird price where you get all of that and the workshop next week for, it's just £97 instead of the regular 197. And because that's what the price will be going up to on January the 1st. So the early bird pricing is ending on December the 31st. So yeah, I just really hope that you take, there's loads of Q&As here as well. So there you go. I won't take up any more of your time with this. I want to do some tapping with you now. So let me just stop sharing. So that's kind of like my offer. I would love to continue what we're doing over these 3 days with you even more in depth over the vision board experience, but plus with all those additional bonuses and work and additional things with my peers, amazing coaches during and after the vision board session itself. So let me just have a look at a question here. So let me just share the link to that. It's melaniemoore.co.uk/vision 2023. I think that's the link. There we go. Inga, if you're still on the call, if that's wrong, please correct it for me. So here we go here. Fran says here, no, is it Fran? Oh, Kirsten signed up already. Amazing. Looking forward to seeing you. Somebody said, oh, I've lost it here. what if I don't have a vision already? But I can't remember. I literally just lost. I lost the comment. What if you don't have a vision for life in the future? Really good question. So I would say, that this vision can evolve over time, and you don't have to have it all mapped out at once. But I particularly like to talk about the 4 pillars of the big vision. And these are the pillars of health, pillars of relationship, the pillar of your environment, which again, that could be a house move, relocation, and the pillar of abundance. And I find it best if you can't see the whole big vision for your life in one go, which of the 4 pillars do you want to make the biggest changes in right now? So after my marriage ended, 7 years ago, my focus was my children and my business, that I, wanted to work as, to grow my business, because I didn't want to go back to my old corporate career. I didn't want to leave them at home, not leave them at home. I didn't want to leave them. I didn't want to leave the home. I wanted to work and grow my business, but I didn't want to, be out the house from 7 till 7. That's not what I wanted. So my vision then was really quite small. It wasn't very big at all. It was just literally just to, grow my business and to be with the kids. But, as I got older and my vision has changed. I remember December, we were just moving in from 2014 to 2015. This was when I kind of really thought, I really want to step it up a notch with my business. I was doing one-to-one holistic therapy work, doing very small vision board workshops. I had this kind of crazy idea that I wanted to grow my business globally. I wanted to have customers from all over the world. And back then it's like, how the hell is this even going to happen? And then it's so funny how when you put your desire out there, the universe responds with an app called Periscope, where I started doing live streaming to the world, doing tapping. And hey presto, I then started to get inquiries from, can I work with you over Skype? And I continued to grow my business. I continued to do these broadcasts. Then Facebook Live became a thing. And then I created my online business. And now the majority of my business, in fact, 99% of it is all online. I don't do any in-person sessions. Even if, you could be living in the same town as me, I will still do it over Zoom. And my membership community, which I love, it's all on Zoom. Vision board workshops, they're online. And I have digital courses, and my YouTube channel, everything is online, which has just given me so much freedom. And freedom used to be a big word on my vision board. I just wanted freedom from all sorts of things. And even to this day, I love the fact that I can do what I want, when I want, with who I want, wherever I want. I can work from wherever I want as well. And for me, freedom is absolutely the most important, thing in my life. So those of you kind of thinking, I don't have a vision right now, just start with one of those pillars. Which of those pillars do you want to transform? Now, at the beginning of 2020, suddenly I realized, certainly when the pandemic hit, I was like, okay, business is going well. My business was so prepared for working online. I was ready for the pandemic, but what it highlighted in my life was actually the relationships aspect, that I was ready for a new relationship. And that became my focus for 2020, health and relationships. And I think health is going back on top again for next year, because I kind of let that slip a little bit. But I met a new partner in 2020, and, and manifesting your dream partner, that could be a focus for you for 2023. I think loving relationships, not just with your significant other, but it could be improving your current relationship, because I think that our relationship should be filled with joy, with fun, not just with tolerating and just, your turn to put the bins out. No, it's your turn to put the bins out. That's not, passionate, exciting relationship, is it? And I truly believe that if your relationship is a bit like that at the moment, if the desire is there on both parts, you can, if there's warmth there, you can throw some logs on that fire and get it roaring again. You really can. That could be a focus to make your relationship exciting and fun and fresh again. Absolutely is possible. Relationships with our friends. Sometimes people say, well, actually, I want to manifest new friends. Totally possible as well. Just put it out there that these are the sort of people that I want in my life. So that is really kind of when I talk about the miracle of the present moment, is just to center yourself back to that question: what do I truly desire in my life right now? And maybe just for a moment, okay, I've realized, we need to do some tapping. That's going to be the theme of this round of tapping now. We're going to focus on I'm just going to allow it to come, but kind of allowing the clarity to come on what is it that I want right now. And it could be a feeling, it could be a particular thing, it could be one of those visions, so one of those pillars, it could be clarity, what is it that I want right now? And again, this is streaming on YouTube, so you can come back and tap on this at any time you want. So let's tap. Here we go. Even though I don't have a huge amount of clarity at the moment, I'm not really sure what it is I want right now. I'm not sure where to focus. Even though I have this fuzziness, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Even though I don't really know what I want in my future vision. I don't know what I want next year. I choose to deeply and completely love and honor myself anyway. Even though the last few months, last few years have been clouded with uncertainty, worry, and lower vibratory emotions. I choose to let this go now. And I'm allowing myself to become more focused and to tune into what my heart and soul really desire right now in this present moment. And I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. I'm allowing myself to get really clear on what my heart and soul really desire. I'm allowing myself to tune into my heart, because my heart knows what it is that I want right now. And this could be a feeling. It could be something that I want to really happen. It could be a material object. It could be something related to my environment or my relationships. I'm allowing myself to get really honest with what it is I want. It could be related to freedom. It could be related to something that I've buried away for a really long time now. I'm allowing myself to tune in to the truth of my heart. What I want to manifest in my life in the next 12 months, or maybe even sooner. I'm allowing the clarity to come. I'm allowing the vision to come. I'm allowing the thought to come. I'm allowing the inspiration to come. Getting really clear on what my heart and soul truly desire. I'm tuning into my heart right now. I'm feeling at peace now. Feeling calm. Feeling relaxed. Tuning into my heart and what my soul really desire. And it may require big change. It may require feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It may mean that I surprise a lot of people. But I choose to know I have one beautiful, magnificent life. And it's my time to do the thing, to have the thing that I want, to make joy my priority. It is time for me in 2023. Oh, I'm going to coin that one. It is time for me in 2023. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Okay, so I'd love to know how you are feeling and what's come up for you, any insights, some clarity. And just take that moment just to sit with your heart for a minute. And I'll just, if you've got clarity, type it in. If you're still waiting for it to come, just sit with your hands in your heart with your eyes closed and just breathe and ask yourself the question, what do I truly desire right now? And this is a great little meditation that you can just sit upstairs, or on your bed or somewhere quiet, even on the toilet, and just sit up, what do I really, really want right now? What do I really want right now? And just ask yourself that question, because so often the answer, your heart knows, but it just, for when we're too busy, we don't have enough time, or we've got other people's, demands on us that, don't really ask that question yourself. What is it I really want right now? And it could well be a feeling. And if it's a feeling, great, because all our manifestations are actually feelings. It's feelings that we want. So just really tune in with that with yourself. I'm just going to read some of the comments here. So Navi has said here, is a digital vision board as effective as physical? Yes, absolutely. We have all sorts of different vision boards that people create. A lot of people just like to do the physical one, the cutting and the sticking and the gluing. A lot of people do digital ones. So yeah, people have them as screensavers, have them on their phones. So yeah, absolutely. So I just want to check here. One of the members has commented about the vision board workshop. I have thought this was clear, but if you're a member already, you get this included. You don't need to sign up again. Members, please don't pay again because I'll have to start offering you refunds. So members get included. Now there is an option, and if anyone wants to find out about it, because I haven't put it on the at the moment, the membership is only open as annual membership. So if you'd like to join as an annual member, please send an email to team@melaniemore.co.uk. Now, my tech team are actually overseas and it's holidays for them at the moment, so I've not been able to update the page as well as I want, because there will be an option to go for annual membership instead of just a vision board workshop. So if you do, would like to do that, or if you've done it already, then I'm really happy to do that for you. But at the moment, the membership community is only available for annual members only. Let's have a look. So Fran said it more peacefully energized. Oh, I love that. So yeah. So ask the question, what can I do that's going to make me feel more peacefully energized? Now, I share this an awful lot. Now, one of my ideas of a dream afternoon is to not have any work. And I love cooking. I really love cooking. It's, I feel that one day in my future, I will release some kind of cookbook. But for now, I just love cooking. So one of the things I love to do is to make a cake. I love baking. But again, I don't have time to bake. Bake a cake. Eat that warm slice of cake and read a book. Actually read a book, not have it on Audible while I'm, cooking. That for me is heaven right there in an afternoon. So sometimes these big vision things, they're not great, big, extravagant things. Can ask, what can I do that's going to really bring me joy right now? For some people, it might be art or gardening or, something like that. So it's singing, dancing, whatever. So, yeah, just have a little think about that. Liz Gow, I really want to be my authentic self and offer what I have from this place. That sounds wonderful. So ask yourself, what, and this is something I love to do. I love to help women with the entrepreneurial spark, and we're going to be talking about this more on tomorrow's call. I truly believe we all have ways that we could bring greater abundance to our lives through the gifts and the skills that we have. And again, they could be hidden. They could be quite deeply hidden. You kind of think, oh, can I really make money from doing that? Yes, you can. So, but we're going to be talking more about that tomorrow. Jackie, I held a rose quartz stone while tapping. Prior to time, I was feeling rushed and a bit stressed. Now I feel relaxed and loved. Like someone give me a gentle hug. That's amazing. Love that. We're going to be doing the crystal workshop. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff with crystals with Sarah Turner. She's going to be teaching us how to incorporate crystals. I'm going to be learning on this masterclass how we can be incorporating crystals with our vision boards. So Katia said here, so much fear and uncertainty have been released. Thank you. Amazing. I'm so pleased to hear that. We want to throw money at you. Inga's put here, there's a clickable link to the vision board page. Thank you, Inga. Yeah, because these Kajabi pages, they're very difficult to remember. Something you can type into your search engine is melaniemore.co.uk/vision 2023. That is the shorter URL. Diane, I want my life to have more meaning. I need to get clearer on that, but I like that as a start. Perfect. So Sammy said, what if you keep changing your mind about what you want? Have I got a tapping video on clarity? I can't remember. That's one thing I can't remember, tapping for clarity. Well, that was the one we did just now. So come back and do this one again, because that's what we just did. And if you keep changing your mind, that's absolutely okay. That's wonderful. You know, we don't want to not be able to change it. Imagine not being able to change your mind, how horrendous that would be. It's fantastic that you keep changing your mind, but also notice, you know, once you've decided on something, but then you think, actually, I don't want that anymore, just maybe check in with yourself. Why don't I want that thing anymore? Is it because you don't think that it was possible to have it? Was it too much hard work? Or, you know, obviously, I don't know what's going on for you. So, you know, you really do have to tune into that. Singing Christmas carols with no one judging. Love that. Inga says, I would love to be successful with helping others in my business and live abroad, living a free life. Absolutely. That is so possible. So I'd love to know, where would you live? What does that business look like? You know, so hopefully you can make it on the call tomorrow, because we're going to be definitely talking about inspiration for ideas for the future as well. So annual membership is £444 for annual membership, but you do get the vision board included as well, and you get a whole year of working with me. So that's something that you please, the link will be available, probably not till after 1st of January, but if that is something you're interested in, then please send an email to team@melaniemore.co.uk. So yeah, has anybody else got any other questions at the moment? So yeah, so I guess the really kind of what I wanted you to take away from this call is that question, what do I truly want right now? And it's to really kind of know that whatever language, whatever story is going in your head, the pattern can be interrupted with a round of tapping, and there will be a round of tapping that will help you with that. Now, as part of the bonuses, there's even one class is how to create your own tapping scripts. That is one of the classes I did as part of Tapping Summer School in the summer, because I take requests from my members all the time. You know, I'm creating a batch of videos this week. What do you want me to create for you? So I think, so Karen, I hope you don't mind me sharing, but you did share on your testimonial page. It's out there already. So Karen wanted to tap into to heal the relationship, not heal the relationship with her mother, but to kind of tap into the support of the divine mother. Now, this was quite a unique tapping video. Karen actually kind of eventually came up with the script for it herself, but then I then created it for the members community, because there are a lot of tapping, a huge library of tapping videos I have that are only available to the members, and these are generally members requests. So gosh, we've got some really unusual. So we've got tapping to release past life vows of poverty. We've got tapping to release to heal female money wounds. These aren't on my YouTube channels because they're a little bit more specialist, but I'm really happy to take requests for actually something I feel that I need to do is tapping to relieve past life vows of chastity. Somebody did ask me that on a private message a while ago. I think, okay, that's a good one to do. Yeah, past life stuff. I do go a little bit more woo in the members group. Monthly membership isn't going to be available until later on next year, Marilyn. So at the moment, it's just annual membership or the vision board workshop. So if you do want to find about annual membership, it's team@melaniemore.co.uk, and then I can send you a separate link because I don't have that on the vision board page just yet. So tomorrow we are going to be tapping into miracles of the future, and I'm really excited about this one because this is all about manifestation. These are about things that you want to call into your life. And I really kind of want to make this one interactive because tomorrow we are going to be focusing on sparks of inspiration, flashes of ideas, and that are going to bring you more abundance. That is just going to, my intention is that you are going to get that spark that's going to think, ah, that's what I need to do. And I know some of you are feeling a little bit in that kind of place of, oh, I'm a bit stuck and a bit unclear. I do have a tapping video to get unstuck. If you do find yourself in a prolonged funk, I find that January is often that month. So if you do come along with me for January, there's going to be no stuck in a funk going on if you come and join the vision board thing. But tapping to get yourself out of a funk, tapping, I think that could be the clarity one that you might be looking for. Yeah, so yeah, that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow, tapping for that. Then that's the best way I can describe it. Yes, that's what I need to do next. That is my intention for everyone who comes on the call tomorrow. So what did I say on the call just now? It's time to focus on me in 2023. I think I might do a little Instagram post about that tonight. So yeah, that's what I want for all of you, to think about you and what do you want in 2023. I really want this. I feel, and I shared this on the call last night, that the energy is moving fast at the moment for next year, but along with that speed, I feel is going to come the speed of our manifestations. But we have to get super clear on what we want, and that's what I want for you now, to get that clarity, to get that spark, to get that inspiration, so that you can move into next year. And I think it was Karen said, I want to blow shit up. That's what we want. We want stuff to happen. That wave that you've been gently bobbing along for the past couple of years, suddenly it's going to roar to a great big and you're going to be surfing the top of that wave. That's the image that I have for you all, surfing the top of that wave, shouting woohoo. So anyway, yeah, so thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see lots of you tomorrow night, and yeah, excited for helping you to tap into the future. So I'm going to be streaming this onto YouTube tomorrow as well. So I think that's been working quite well, where people can then just watch on YouTube whenever they can. So lots of love to you. And oh, Liz just signed up. Amazing. Gwen has just renewed her membership. Oh, fabulous. Lovely. Looking forward to yeah,